Hello, welcome back to the Off-Grid family. Today I'm doing a review for KF CPTEC, and basically they've sent me some crimpers and a set of their heat shrink connectors, and basically they've said try it out, have it for free and do a review of it. Now, whenever a company says that to me, I say to them in no uncertain terms that I will make the review how I want. If I don't like the item, I basically say that, and if the company are behind their product, they will tell me go for it, 100%, that's fine, you say what you want. I can always, that way it sort of weeds out the people who are just trying to sell a piece of rubbish. There's a lot of YouTubers out there who will do a review on something just to get it for free, but I don't want that to be my channel. I don't want people to look at my channel and go, oh, I'll get that, and then it's a piece of rubbish. So I've said to them, basically, if I don't like it, I will say, and that is sort of how it will be. But anyway, they reached out to me before Christmas and said, would I really like to review their products? And I said, yeah, I'll give it a go. And the person I've been speaking to is super in love with their own products, which I love to see, and they are 100% behind their products. They're very proud of it, and basically it made me want to review it more because of how proud they were of their product. So let's have a look at it, let's open the boxes, let's get into it, and we'll do a bit of a review. Let's get on. Okay, so this is how it's arrived to me, and this was, as I said, by KF CPTEC, and they do various bits and bobs, but they were 100% like behind this one, and they're really impressed with it, and you know, and I love a company that is, you know, really proud of the product they have, and I've done reviews for quite a few companies like that. And it's just nice when a company is, you know, properly impressed with their own tools or goods or whatever, because you always know you're in for a bit of a treat, you know. This is their connectors and all of the different bits and bobs. The heat shrink butt connectors. And then a little bit of extra packaging. For their crimping set, well, their crimping tool I should say. Okay. Now these are nice and heavy, sometimes you get some quite cheap ones. Oh, I wonder if that's colour coded to their crimping stuff. Yellow's bigger, blue and then pink, yeah. So they actually colour coordinated the actual crimps with the actual connectors, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, let's get some wire and test these, shall we? That'll do. Now I'm only going to test these with a very quick test with a few bits of wire, because they've actually sent them to me because I've got a project coming up soon that I'm going to need them. They're going to be imperative for, but I'm not going to be doing that for a little while. So I wanted to get this tested for them as soon as possible, because I always feel like if a company reaches out and says, could you try a product out, I'm always wanting to do it as soon as possible for them, because, you know, companies rely on word of mouth and various other things to keep going, and I like to help out if possible. But like I always say, I literally will not do a product review without my honest opinion. So whenever someone reaches out to me and says, will you review our product, I always say to them, bear in mind I am going to give an honest opinion. And I have had a few times where people have said, yeah, that's fine. Then I've done the review and I found it's absolute rubbish, and I've messaged them again to say, look, this is what I've thought, do you still want me to release this video? And strangely enough, they always say, no, don't worry about it, thanks anyway. But if I'm reviewing a video and you get to see it, then it's because I'm happy and proud of the product, you know. Right. It's actually really handy. They sent me out the crimping connectors because I need some of these for the project as well. And I don't have any. I've got like 10 or 11, but they're random sized. So that's really handy. Right, let's open this up and have a look. Oh, let's not lose all the wires. Let's put them to one side. Let's have a look in here. Oh, they're litty. Little ones. I've not seen them that size before. I've seen them these 3 sizes, but never seen them that size. I'm just having a look at this, and this is slightly different from the ones I've used before. They're the usual ratchets, so they ratchet shut, and then they will once you've sort of ratcheted them to a certain point, you can't bring them back out. You have to just finish it off, kind of thing. But on this one, it's got gaps. So, for example, when you're ratcheting down this one, this side won't get crimped as much as this side, and then you spin them around. The one I've got, you basically, let's try and demonstrate. Just twisting the ends a sec. The one I used to use all the time, it's not quite as heavy duty as this one, to be honest, but it's done thousands of crimps in its time. Basically, the one I've got, you put both ends in, and then you crimp the whole thing down and it will close both ends. But I think this one, from the looks of things, only crimps one side. Yeah, because, let me show you. I'm trying to get it so you can see. Each side, this side has got a raised bit, this side has got a raised bit, but this side is free to allow it through. So I believe, and I could be wrong, but let's try it. It basically crimps one side at a time. Let's attempt that, shall we? Right, that's in there solid, and yeah, this end has not been touched, so now plunk this in. And that is solid. That is absolutely solid. The one I used when doing the K40, it was a bit dodged sometimes, and you'd end up having bits that would fall out. And recently, over the years, I've had to re-crimp them. But that is solid as a rock. I'm putting proper. No, I cannot pull that apart. Oh, that's awesome. Right. Now, the good thing about these ones, which are the heat shrink variety, which I don't have many of, basically this whole bit is a heat shrink, so no moisture can get in. And all you do is you'd use your whatever you got on hand that's a heat whatever Majubalua. I know that's English, I promise. And there we go. I do have a heat gun somewhere, I just never get it out in time. So I've got loads of lighters lying around. I don't even smoke, but you know, such is life. Right, there we go. And they are solid on there, and no moisture's getting into that at all. So far, where are we? So far, I'm genuinely impressed. I will actually look at the next size down now, or the next size up, maybe. What size? That was blue. Let's see what. I don't actually have any wire that's big enough for these ones at the moment. Okay, I've tried another one, and just as a circle. Do you know what? Hang on a sec. Right, I've got one of these scales, and bloody hell. And it's in pounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold one end, try and be as fair as I can holding it. Oh. Jesus! There is no taking that apart. Look what I've done to the wire. Wow, I think I just cut my own fingers off. Oh. Okay, so you can pull them apart, but that was insane amounts. Oh, shouldn't have done that, it really hurt. Okay, so I've actually physically stripped the wire. So it's actually left the wire in there. But that was over 25 pounds of pull strength, and it still hadn't broken. Let's try that again. I enjoyed doing that. Let's try that again. This one hasn't been as good a bond, to be honest, because even as I was shoving that in, I could see I was not putting it in properly. So this isn't going to be as fair a test, but we're still going to try it. So let's heat shrink it. as I say, this isn't going to be as fair because I can already see that I've pulled it out slightly, but it's still going to be, bloody hell, still more than I can pull by myself, and that's 30 pounds of pull pressure, and that's I'm purposely rolling my knuckles so I'm pulling actually on the crimp. Okay, that works pretty well considering, you know, that's 30 pounds of pull pressure. When I pulled it a minute ago myself, I physically had to use all of my strength against my chest kind of thing. So yeah, I really do rate these quite highly. I'm very impressed with them. Right, so there you go, a very robust, rugged little device. I've used these in the past, not specifically the same as this. All the ones I've ever used have been, you crimp both wires at the same time, and to be honest, that is a problem because you're having to hold two sets of wires and the crimps. I actually prefer this way, even though I didn't know that was the case at the beginning. But I really like this. I'm very 100% behind this product. I will leave all of the links to everything to do with it in the description for you guys, and by all means have a look at their other products as well. But I've only done a very short review on this one because it's going to come up in a few other videos, so you'll be able to see me using it in the future anyway. So I thought, well, I'll make sure it works as is, and I've done a few tests off camera, and every single time it's worked really, really well, and it's incredibly hard to pull the actual wires apart once they've been crimped, and that's exactly what you want. You don't want things flopping around. As I mentioned in the actual review part of the video, my laser, when I used the crimpers that I originally had, they've come out a few times, and one of the wires to the main switch came out and was actually resting on the metal casing. I'd grounded my casing so it was safe and I was okay, still wasn't safe, you know. So I keep re-crimping things every now and again. I will go over and use these crimps now, and I will re-crimp everything on there just to be 100% sure. But yeah, I really did enjoy using this. It's easy, intuitive, and it works very, very well. So yeah, I would recommend these, and if you are interested, as I say, I'll leave links in the description. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.